What is quacking, everybody? So I love me a good little horror experience, and I love me a good little find things and little details and stuff like that. And I'm on observation duty, just hitched that itch so good. It's just such an amazing, fun little experience. I believe this game was obviously inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's because the gameplay mechanic is similar in the aspect of you're checking cameras. You know, OG Five Nights at Freddy's, not the new stuff where you run around and you're like, the security guard looks hot. No, we're talking about OG stuff where people think the OG Chica from Five Nights at Freddy's 1 is sexy. So that OG. But so you screw around with cameras and you flip through the different cameras and stuff like that. And that's kind of the main mechanic. But also you look for anomalies, and anomalies can vary from different things. They can vary from, two little things on the table switching back and forth, or perhaps a object just vanishes and you just didn't notice that a ghost might have stolen it. And they can do that, or they can range from a naked man just sitting in a chair staring at the camera, a weird black abyss trying to swallow the entire room, or a really big man who looks like he could punch you through 10 walls and he's absolutely terrifying. Those are the types of things that you have to look for in I'm on observation duty. So you flip through the cameras, you look for anything strange, and then you report the strange thing, and then poof, they just disappear magically because the company comes in and cleans them up. So observation duty is just a series of games. You have I'm on observation duty 1 through 7 right now. I haven't played 7. I've only played 6, 5, 4, and 1. So I've played a few of them, and I can say with the ones I have played, they're all just fantastic. It's just all fun little, nice little experiences. Okay, this is kind of like one of them games that you can just kind of sit down if you just want to play it, you want to challenge yourself, you can just play them. And I think that's what makes these games just really fun, is you just sit down, play. It's very simple. This series has been going on for a couple years now, and I will say I have been playing these games for, a couple years, and I will say watching the improvement of each game go up has been such a pleasure. Going from I'm on observation duty 1 and playing that, and then jumping to something like 4, 5, and then from the jump to 5 to 6, all of the mechanics are great. I'm not going to speak on the mechanics of 7. I haven't played it. I'm assuming they're going to be good though. But I will say 6's mechanics are probably my favorite, as you just look at where the anomaly happened, you hold down the left mouse button, and poof, the anomaly solved. Or if it's something like a ghost, light anomaly, or something like that, you right click on what anomaly it is. If it's a light anomaly, click on that, and then the room, and poof, it's gone. I think that is probably the easiest controls, because 5, you had 2 different modes of 5 where it's just like you got punished, and it was just kind of like a little clunky for 5 and 4, like going through the menus and clicking things, and especially 1 trying to like go through the menus and click through things. But like it wasn't so important as well. Like the controls weren't crazy. I just think 6 really improved upon everything that previous games have set forward. And speaking of like 5, where 5 you would get punished if you had you kept guessing anomalies wrong. Whereas 6, you get to choose now. You get to choose between, hey, this one is, you either play hard and you get punished for guessing anomalies wrong, or you just play on normal mode and it's fine. So I think that's a pretty good, nice quality of life change where you can either challenge yourself or just play normal and just go through the games. Now, one thing about I'm on observation duty is also the graphical fidelity, as well as these games have, gotten, progressing through the years as they've been developed. They've just gotten better graphically. Like if you go back and look at I'm on observation duty 1, that's like kind of, it looks a little weird, looks a little crusty, I'm not going to lie. But now you look at 6 and 7, and even 5, those games look phenomenal for what they are. And honestly, the graphics can just keep going up because these games are just very simple. It's just look at screen, here's the thing, things change. It's not like, so many moving parts. I know it's a game, there's a lot of moving parts in the game, but like compared to other games, if you're looking at other horror games as well, this is just a nice little treat. You just sit there, you play it, you go through it, and that's like the fun thing about the game. And I will say this game's horror is very different from other horror games as well, comparing it to your modern horror where you're running through, things jump out at you, you gotta shoot things, hide from things. In this game, it's the ambience and the vibe of the game, because you're just sitting there and you're waiting and you're waiting, and you're just sitting there, you're clicking through and you're scrolling through, and you're like, is something going to be there, is something not going to be there? It's like, and then you're questioning yourself as well, especially if you're like new to the game as well. You're questioning yourself. It's like, did that change over there? Did that change? What changed? What happened? Something like that, when something's not obvious. And that's the fun part about it, is it's kind of like more psychological and, suspense building, and kind of like hits you with that eerie feeling of quietness as well, because this isn't like a loud horror game. I know most horror games aren't like really loud or whatever, but even when something changes, it's not loud, it's subtle, and even when there's an obvious anomaly, like a naked guy just sitting there, it's quiet, it's weird. They look at the camera, and it's like they're not even just looking at the camera, they're looking at you, and they know you're watching them. They're like, what are you looking at? Why, you make that eye contact, and you have to deal with that, sit with that uncomfortable feeling while you register that there's an anomaly so it can just vanish. And I think that's the nice, juicy horror bit about the games. And I will say, I definitely recommend playing this game in like, obviously at night, play it at night. But normally games are like, oh, turn the lights off, I think this game is best played if, you open the door to your room, turn off all the lights in your house. And if you like live alone or whatever, this is like a plus. Or if you like, it's like late at night, so there's no noise or anything in your house. Or maybe you got like a fish tank, so you hear the bubbling of the, the filter and everything going, the fish pump, and you just hear that. You just have the quietest of background noise, all lights off in your house, and you sit in your room and turn the light. Don't turn on like a big light, turn on like a lamp in the corner, just like a little light, something nice, just a little light, and face away from the door, and then play the game, because now you have all that quietness. And maybe you hear like your house, the settling of the house, if you got a fish tank, a fish pump or something like that, or maybe you hear the ticking of a clock while you're looking out these cameras, and you're just sitting there and you're like, what's that? Like, you're looking at the cameras intensively, and then you get like this weird feeling behind you or around you. You're like, am I sure that the thing isn't behind me? Like, what? Like, how do I know that me checking these cameras, if the anomalies aren't in my room, maybe I should check around me. So you check around yourself, and that's the immersion that this game brings too, because it's really good at immersing you as, I'm this, security guard, camera watching person, and I gotta find these anomalies, but am I safe? Because if there's too many anomalies, you die. And there's even like a warning. The game warns you. It's like, hey, there's too many anomalies. So you're like, oh, you gotta like keep looking. And it's like the silence and fear, and especially like the build up when it warns you, and you're like, I can't find them. And I think it does really good at like immersing you in this, silent, creepy state. It's not in your face, it's all subtle, and I like that about it. It's different from other like horror games as well, where it's just subtle, it's just right there, and it lingers too. Like, even after you finish playing or whatever, it lingers. It kind of gets you. You're like, ooh, what, is there still something behind me? Like, is there something subtle in my house that I didn't notice? Something like that. Like, that's what makes this game really nice. And on top of that, it has subtle lore as well. There's like, you're working for this paranormal bureau, and there's this guy Timothy who goes crazy and kills his wife, and like 1 through 3 you see Timothy, and like some weird stuff happens, but then I think he like dies or you banish him, and he's in like some weird alive and not alive thing, and you're just like seeing hints of him in 4 and 5 and stuff like that. And it's like really cool lore. You're like, what are all these things? And you have questions and theories. You're like questioning yourself. You're like, what are these things? What is happening in this game? And what's nice about this game is all of these games are really cheap. They're really cheap. They go on sale a lot. So you can sit down, play all of them. All the environments are always like different in each game. It's always new environments. And as the games have been being developed, it's just like, 5 and 6 especially, they have like these expansive, deep environments where like you got to really check and see like if there's an anomaly somewhere in like a corner, and you got to like really pick at the fine details of some of these like bigger maps, like the school or the university in 6, where you got to like be really diligent And like, especially the lab, the room is really dark. It's hard to see stuff in the back. Then there's like some bigger open areas like the library where you gotta like really notice some key details. So it's like you gotta really notice the small details, and it's just very nice as you go through them. You can explore them, play them, and have fun all at the same time. And that's what makes these games so unique. It's easy to jump into them. It's real quick to understand. So you just play them, go through them, try and find the lore, try and figure out all these puzzles. And then at a certain point, you remember all the rooms and everything, and you memorize everything. So you just kind of like speed run, get through everything. Like, you know, how many anomalies can I get through each night and stuff like that? Can I beat the hard mode? Can I do all these things? And this game can be challenging at first, but once you start memorizing everything, you just keep going like, oh, is this room different? Is that room different? Maybe you forget things too. So that's the beauty of these games. Easy replayability factor, nice horror, like different from mainline horror. And it's just all around a very, very fun time. I highly recommend I'm on Observation Duty, and you know, you should definitely pick it up. But that's been me talking about I'm on Observation Duty. Great game. Enjoy it. You should play it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.